That means bank capital is only $5. Now leverage ratio for this bank is 100 divided by 5, which is 20 to 1. Now if the value of its assets just drops by 5%, then the bank's capital is wiped out. Does that sound familiar? Years 2007 and 2008 scenario. Lehman Brothers leverage ratio was over 30 to 1. So it's no wonder they went belly up. But why didn't some people look at this leverage ratio? And this is what it is, that the power of I, that dashboard could be very, very helpful for people to look at. And I have covered a large number of these things which I have been speaking about in one of my books, as Mark mentioned, on Business Intelligence Roadmap, which is available by Amazon. It's selling like hotcakes. So you take a look at, I think one of the main things in here is that there is a project management chart, there is do's and don'ts, and in the beginning of each chapter, I have written there what you should be prepared with, and at the end, what should be the deliverables of each phase. And some of the things which we have put in, it's in the BI Navigator. We must have sent close to 10,000 of these throughout the world. About 150 countries we have sent their processes. There are different steps to follow. Then what are the deliverables, and also how to go about implementing all of this. So go to our website and you can take a look at it, and we will, if you send us the email that you would like to have this, then we will send you the BI Navigator complimentary. So now, how to make it happen? Where is your customer base? It is 2010, and do you know where your customer base is? Make 5 classes of customers. How do you measure profit per customer? How do you measure loss per customer? And profit from getting rid of loss leaders. So here is something, what are your priorities in running your business? Delivering products, services effectively, introducing new products, developing new markets. And if you would like to have my slides, please send an email to shaku@atre.com, SHAKU @atre.com. And in order to learn more about this, we would love to have you at our class, where we are going to have a 3-day class, February 23 to 25 in Orange, not too far from Hollywood. So if you haven't been that part of the world, this would be the best opportunity to do that. And we will have 3 days. We will go into much more details about all of this. And if you would like to contact the speakers, here are our contact numbers, email addresses, and I will bring that up again towards the end. So with that, I would like to pass on the baton to Mark, and thank you so much for being here. I hope you're enjoying the webinar. Mark, take it from here.
Thank you so much, Shaku. As usual, very excellent presentation. I especially appreciate your insight and your humor. J is truly brilliant. And I predict someone will be inspired to actually create it based on this call. But also excellent insight into especially open source. So I'll be sharing my screen, and we'll go into a presentation. So today I'm going to be covering how Actuate BIRT can facilitate delivering dynamic, rich information applications. And my role, again, is as Director of Technical Marketing at Actuate Corporation. Actuate is the creator. So I thought it would be good to, at first, give you a little bit of background on BIRT. So BIRT is an acronym, one that actually means something. That stands for Business Intelligence and Reporting Tools. BIRT was proposed and developed by the Actuate Corporation in August of 2004 for the Eclipse Foundation. And Eclipse is an open source organization and IDE for developing and using open source BIRT tools. BIRT was essentially conceived of and produced to fill a void in the Eclipse offering at the time. They lacked a robust BI content development tool, and so with that we were inspired to create and provide BIRT. So BIRT, it's important to note, is a professionally managed open source software project which has realized rapid maturity thanks to constant improvements through continued development by Actuate, as well as contributions from various sources such as IBM, systems integrators, and open source community at large. BIRT is a simple but powerful BI content development and generation mechanism, and it allows creation and deployment of web-based, data-driven content. The open source version is completely free of cost and provides a simple way for organizations to start producing BI content for their websites and web applications. So Vaisi will be taking us through an open source development environment through the actual BIRT open source development environment later in this presentation. You'll see how straightforward it is to build rich, dynamic BIRT content. Actuate uses the open source BIRT product line as a foundation over which it provides commercial value-add options and products that enhance basic BIRT functionality. So we provide for BIRT an automated secure deployment server, an out-of-the-box web portal, as well as content interactivity, ad hoc report authoring, enhanced flash visualizations, and dashboard capabilities that all sit atop the open source BIRT code base. And this allows organizations to start small with the zero-cost open source products, but gradually add commercial value-add features as their application needs evolve. So BIRT applications that leverage and make use of the Actuate commercial features become true rich information applications, or RIAs. So let's delve into that. First, I'd like to cover the term RIA and what it means in the context of BIRT. The classic acronym RIA stands for Rich Internet Application and refers to websites built using the latest Web 2.0 technology. And these are terms you've probably heard: AJAX, Flex, Flash. These sites really go far beyond the boundaries of a basic static website that would display only simple pages and links. An RIA-based site leverages Web 2.0 to create a dynamic experience, behaving more like a full-blown application than a web page. This allows users to typically move page elements around, add new elements, tag items of interest, or input information and share it with others. Examples of RIA sites would be Google Finance or iTunes, Netflix, Google Maps, Flickr, and others. The interactive and personal experience that users enjoy from these RIAs that they access from home set the expectation that business and BI applications should also behave in this dynamic fashion. But sadly, most business applications are lacking in the richness, personalization, and flexibility that these home sites, if you will, offer. But Actuate BIRT brings the benefits of Web 2.0 into the realm of BI, allowing you to create highly dynamic RIAs that, and Actuate has actually reworked the term RIA to stand for Rich Information Application. So we'll kind of get into what we mean by that. So we'll be using this graphic, this pentagon graphic, if you will. How does BIRT really fulfill the promise of an RIA? Well, by successfully meeting and achieving or exceeding 5 core principles that ensure application success. And these principles are listed here in the pentagon graphic, and I'll use it to drive the rest of my presentation today. The first important tenet of any successful RIA is that it be highly visual, providing not only pleasing graphics and aesthetic quality, but also in making information easy to understand and disseminate at a glance. The visuals should draw the user in and engage them, as well as inform them, providing really the highest possible value. The next principle we'll cover is interactivity. This applies to empowering the user to personalize and modify the web page for themselves. Any successful RIA must also adhere to the principle of context, providing information to the user that is entirely in context with their role and the task at hand. Next, an RIA must be fully immersive, seamlessly providing all capabilities without forcing a user to go to different sites or web pages to complete a task. And lastly, all of the previously discussed principles of an RIA would be irrelevant without sufficient scale to deliver the capabilities to every user who needs it. So let's go into a couple of slides to preface our demo. Actuate BIRT meets the visual principle of an RIA through highly engaging flash visualizations. And these visualizations succinctly summarize enterprise or business information in easy-to-understand graphs, charts, maps, and gadgets. Being flash-based, these visualizations also offer animation to increase visibility, engage the user, and really provide deeper understanding of the data. So let's examine what I mean by visual in a brief live demo of a BIRT-based RIA, and then we'll return to our presentation. So I've just now accessed a BIRT-based dashboard complete with the flash visualizations that I mentioned earlier. In fact, I'll maximize my screen here for a little more real estate. And these are just a cross-section, a few samples, if you will, of the various types of visualizations you're able to provide summarizing your enterprise data. And they run the gamut from the traditional charts and graphs all the way to non-traditional gadget-based kind of visualizations